What was your first big paycheck that made you realize that you've made it?
That's good. Well, honestly, the one that comes to mind is I made like $400 when I was 16 off of a Vine post. They like paid me $400 for this app to promote this game. It was called like Bubble Jump or something. And to me, $400 for like making a 6-second video, I thought I was like the richest person ever. Went right to the mall, bought some LeBron Christmas edition shoes, and then this like big watch, and didn't have any money after that. I was down to zero.
Watch.
Yeah, it was
the
like
bigger the watch, the more expensive it is.
It was like this Diesel. I don't know if you know this brand Diesel. They have these
at
big,
the mall, right?
Yeah,
Like
at the
those
mall.
brands.
And I was like, dude, I'm balling. But that was like the first one where I was like, I can't believe I just made, because I was landscaping for $10 an hour, and only on the weekends or something, like, so I could only get like 2 jobs in and make like $100 or whatever. But this was definitely memorable. But I would say after that, like a actual big paycheck, I think was after I started selling merch while I was daily vlogging. I think the first month I sold merch, I made like 400,000 or something, and I just couldn't believe it after that.
How did that compare to YouTube ad revenue at the time?
It was exponentially bigger. I think my channel never had a good CPM just because I was doing crazy stuff, and so I think they limited the ads that were being run on my channel. I think the most I ever made in a month off of YouTube was 400,000, but I was getting 400 million views in a month. So it's like a $1 CPM basically.
Now, you're extremely competitive, I've noticed. Do you think that's something you're born with, or were you raised that way?
I think there's a little bit of nature and a little bit of nurture for sure in that. I mean, definitely my mom is super competitive, and watching her and her family, and they were, all athletes. My great grandpa was the NFL quarterback. And it's funny, I was like going to fight Mike Tyson. They bring us to the locker room. He played for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm like looking around the locker room, and I forgot that he played for the Cowboys. And I see my great grandpa on the locker room, like right before I'm about to fight Mike Tyson, which was crazy. But we had a whole family of athletes, and I think seeing my mom and how competitive she was playing tennis really rubbed off on me. And then having an older brother that you're always beefing with, and, oh, I'm doing this better, I'm doing that better. My dad was always pushing us in football. But I also do feel in my soul that the way I was born, whatever I am, whoever I was, my soul is, I think, wanted to achieve more and do big things. So I think there's a little bit of both of nature and nurture.
You've been vocal about humble beginnings, being raised in a split household. What would you say are some of the positive and negative things that you learned from each parent that you still use today?
Yeah, I mean, the positive from my dad, first off, is hard work. He still works incredibly hard. It's just who he is, and he genuinely enjoys it. And he instilled that in me and my brother. We genuinely enjoy hard work, which I think is very rare. I love completing a task. I love having a big task in front of me. It started with, cleaning out a hoarder's house, roofing, odd jobs, landscaping, painting houses, just helping our dad do his like blue collar work. And we just loved the process of it, and it was very rewarding to complete a task. And then I would say my mom she was a nurse for 30, 40 years, and she's very caring and giving and empathetic and loves helping people. So I would say that is something that I learned from her, and I love just being there for my friends, my fiance, whatever it is. I would say those are probably the 2 positive traits. And then I guess you asked about the negatives.
If there's any negatives.
I mean, I would say my dad was in the army, and so he has that like militant style of parenting, and I would say that comes into my life where like I sometimes forget to smell the flowers and enjoy life. Like everything's like next test, next test, next test, get this done. Work, 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 work. And I think that can like take emotions out of your life and like you're just a human doing and not a human being. And so I think that is something that I've had to shed and to not be I treat myself like in that militant manner, which has brought a ton of success, but I think also it can void emotions sometimes. So I've had to like shed that skin and just be proud of myself, learn to love myself more, and then to also treat people on my team. Sometimes I notice if I'm like tired and hungry, I'll start to like turn into my dad with like yelling. I'm like, bro, what the I can't do that. I can't do that. But it's my default settings. And so and by the way, so to be a CEO, entrepreneur, have multiple businesses, you kind of have to have that not care to hurt people's feelings side, but there is a better way to go about it. I mean, you kind of do have to be it's a fine line. Like how do you be the leader, keep everyone intact but still be nice? It's a hard tightrope to walk.
How do you learn those skills? Is it just trial and error?
I think trial and error. I'm still learning, and I'm young too. So it's like having to figure that out. And just, just feeling it within yourself. Like, dang, was I too mean? Was I too this, whatever. And then also seeing how people respond, but definitely just years and years of experience is really, really the only way. And it's definitely hard sometimes because I also care. I'm friends with a lot of the people I work with, like best friends, family. It's really a family at this point. So it's kind of hard to play both sides sometimes. Like everything's mixed into one because we just are always together, training, filming, traveling, all of these things.
Who do you go to for advice outside of your family?
I don't have somebody. I thought about this the other day. I've never had like a mentor. I don't know. I just don't like to ask for help.
Do you watch YouTube videos? How do you learn about like what to do if you're stuck at a crossroad in business?
I guess I've just done it myself and like figured it out. I do have, my business partner and manager Nikisa, and then also I would say my business partner in my fund, Jeff Wu. Those are two of the smartest people I know, and so I guess I do have those conversations with them, but I've never had like some sort of mentor or something. I think what I'm doing is so new and different. There's like no one who can really give me advice on it. Like I feel like I'm the best person to talk to. This new age of digital marketing, social media, content, creativity, building businesses, promoting boxing, selling fights, like all of this whole world is still like the Wild West. So I don't know.
Now, this clip was brought to you by our sponsor, Opus Clip. Most people think Opus Clip is just a clipping tool, but it's way more than that.
It's actually a full-on AI video editor. It can pull your long-form content, find the best moments, add captions, B-roll, and even schedule your clips to post all automatically. It's basically your entire post-production team, but way faster and smarter.
We use it ourselves to turn long episodes like this with Jake Paul into high-performing clips. And right now, they're celebrating their 2-year anniversary with a huge giveaway. They're handing out $5,000 in cash prizes, exclusive swag, and even a MacBook Pro to one lucky winner.
And everyone who joins gets free credits just for participating. All you got to do is head to opus.pro/clip-the-future right now to learn more and enter the contest. Again, that is opus.pro/clip-the-future. We also have a link down below in the description. You can just click it there. Huge thanks to Opus Clip for sponsoring this clip.